All right, let's do something a little different today. Forget just learning about history. Today, you're gonna live it. So get ready, because we are going way, way back.
Probably not, right? Well, that's about to change. We're going to drop you right into the deep, steamy swamp forests of South America. And we're talking 58 million years ago. So yeah, forget everything you think you know about being a person.
See, this isn't going to be some boring documentary. For the next few minutes, this is your story, your life, and it all starts right now, with the first tiny crack in your shell. Okay, so let's set the scene. You're deep inside this hidden nest, tucked away in the reeds, and your egg, it starts to shake. You're about to be born into a world that is, let's just say, not exactly throwing you a welcome party.
You burst out of that shell and bam, it is pure chaos. I mean, all around you, dozens of your own brothers and sisters are twisting, hissing, and straight up fighting. This is no happy family reunion, folks. It's a full-on battle royale from the second you're born.
So, here's the deal. Your mom, yeah, she made the nest, but she's long gone. She took off way before you hatched. So you're an orphan, right from birth. And in this nest, with not much to go around, there's only one rule: survival of the fittest. And guess what? Your siblings are your very first test. You look around, you see the ones that didn't make it, and you just know, you gotta get out of there, and fast.
But hey, don't sweat it too much. Even as a brand new baby, you are not a pushover. You're already 3 meters long. A kind of dorky, giant baby snake, sure, but you're bigger than most full-grown animals out there. You were literally built for this.
All right, so you made it out of that crazy nest. You survived round 1. Now, the real struggle begins. Your instincts just take over, and for the very first time, they pull you into that murky, warm swamp water.
Listen, you might be big, but you are not invincible. Not even close. This swamp is crawling with giant crocs, huge turtles, massive fish, and yeah, they could be your dinner, but you could just as easily be theirs. So what do? You learn. You spend your days figuring out how to hide, how to hold your breath for, ever, and how to move like a ghost under the water.
And every time you make a catch, you grow. And man, do you grow fast. Check this out. By the time you're 3, you're 5 meters long. You're a legit terror of the forest. And by 10, you've doubled that. We're talking 10 meters. You're not just getting by anymore. You're starting to run the place.
And as you get bigger, so does your appetite. Little fish, baby crocs, that's kid stuff now. You're going after the big game, full-grown crocodiles. You just wait, perfectly still, and the second one gets close to the water's edge, it is over. One single gulp, and dinner is served.
At this point, you're a force of nature. Other animals literally change direction when they sense you coming. But to be the true, undisputed king of this swamp, there's one last challenge. One final boss.
So you're out, doing your thing, when you feel it. Something's off. There's someone else in your territory. And then you see it. Another massive snake. Just as big, just as strong as you are. And you recognize it. The pattern, the smell. It's one of your siblings. One of the very few who actually survived the nest.
And you know immediately, this swamp ain't big enough for the two of you. There's no backing down. This is your home and you're gonna defend it. You both lunge and it's on. An absolutely epic battle that churns the swamp water into a frenzy, and it goes on for hours. This is a fight for everything.
When the water finally settles, you're hurt. You're completely exhausted. But you're the winner. Your sibling slinks away defeated. And that's it. No more rivals, no more challengers. You are the one and only king.
So what's it like being the undisputed king of the swamp? Well, your reign has officially begun.
By the time you hit 15, you're all grown up. You've hit your max size, a mind-blowing 15 meters. To put that in perspective, you are longer than a school bus. Seriously.
And you weigh over a ton, a literal ton. At this point, other animals don't just run away from you, they basically teleport out of existence the second they sense you. You are a living, breathing mountain of pure muscle, a true titan.
So what's a day in the life of a king look like? Well, it's pretty simple, really. Step 1, if you're hungry, you go hunt a giant crocodile or a turtle. Step 2, you swallow it whole. That one meal can last you for a whole month. Step 3, you just chill. You sunbathe, you patrol your kingdom, maybe slap around a few dorks who wander into your turf. And yeah, every now and then you find a mate for a snake knot. But mostly,
You're powerful, you're the boss, and you are completely, utterly alone.
You've ruled for 40 long years, a lifetime of dominance. But here's the thing about kings. Even the greatest ones can't rule forever. And now, the world itself is starting to change. The whole planet is starting to cool down. Those tropical plants you've known your whole life, they're dying out. And when they go, so does your food. The prey is getting scarce. This swamp just can't support a cold-blooded giant like you anymore. You're 40 years old now. You're old, and you can feel it. Your strength is fading. Then one day, you're just floating in the water, and you notice your breath is getting slower. Your huge body feels impossibly heavy. And then, it all just flashes before your eyes. The chaos of the nest, the thrill of your first big hunt, that epic battle with your sibling, all those years of just pure, unmatched power. And you just let go. You sink, slowly, down into the deep, warm water of the swamp one last time. You die the same way you were born, silent and alone. But you die a legend.
Okay, wow. Your incredible life has come to an end, but the story isn't over. Not quite. Let's zoom out now and take a look at the actual science behind this legendary creature you just became. So that name, Titanoboa, it's pretty much perfect, right? Titan comes from the Titans, those giant gods from Greek myths, and boa, well, that connects you to the modern boa family of snakes. You put them together, and what do you get? A name that's just as epic as the life you lived. A true titanic boa.
And there you have it. That was your story. The story of the largest snake that ever slithered on this planet. We took you from a tiny hatchling, well, a giant hatchling, all the way to the undisputed king of everything. So I guess there's only one question left for you to think about. How did it feel to live and die as an absolute legend?